Good evening and namaskar, dear friends. Today we are all gathered here from various places in India and internationally for this webinar to celebrate the first anniversary of Delphic Council of Rajasthan. This event is a testimonial to the fact that DCR has successfully completed 1 year as not only the first regional council in the world, the first to be registered as a society on 10th of July 2021, the first to have its own newsletter, and the first to begin as well as consistently carry on its series of online and curated live programs. And consequently, we are the first to celebrate our anniversary too with this webinar, DCR at One. And it's a great honor and privilege to have today with us participating in this webinar Mr. J. Christian B. Kirsch, the President of International Delphic Council. Welcome, sir. Mr. Ramesh Prasanna, Secretary General, International Delphic Council. And we have Ms. Roberta Williams, member of the IDC Amphictyony and legal advisor to International Delphic Council. Welcome, ma'am. On behalf of the DCR team, we also welcome all the other guests and all the esteemed officials of the Indian National Delphic Council and all the state presidents as well. Welcome all of you. We begin this webinar with the welcome address by the President of Delphic Council of Rajasthan, our leader, without whom DCR would not have been possible, Ms. Sreya Guha, ma'am.
Thank you, Shipra. Good evening to all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you today to our webinar, all our esteemed guests and our dignitaries. Today is a very joyous and a momentum occasion, not only for the Delphic Council of Rajasthan, but also the entire Delphic movement in India. As was just mentioned by Shipra, the Delphic Council was registered on the 10th of July 2021, and we've just completed a year today, and it was the first registered provincial council of the International Delphic Council, for which we have also been felicitated by the council. And I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Kirsch for sending us the certificate. Thank you so much. And we are very grateful to the IDC and the Indian Delphic Council to provide us this platform through which we are able to reach out to people, and especially the youth, who are the lovers of various art forms in the state. Today we celebrate the past year, and which has been a year of learning, unlearning, of growth, and a feeling of camaraderie within not only the members of the council, but also people who have supported us and joined us through this whole year and encouraged us. And the fact that we've got positive response and encouragement from all quarters goes a long way to show that this is something that needed to be done. This was the need of the hour. So our webinar today is not only for taking stock of what we have achieved in this past 1 year, but also to deliberate and to strategize with all of you as to what should be the road ahead, not only for the council in Rajasthan, but for the movement in the country and maybe across the world. I take this opportunity on behalf of all my colleagues in the council to formally welcome Mr. Kirsch, the President of the International Delphic Council, Ms. Roberta Williams, Mr. Ramesh Prasanna, Secretary General, Mr. N.N. Pandey, the President of the Indian Delphic Council, Mr. Shantanu Agrahari, our Secretary General. And we are also blessed today that we have the Presidents and the Secretary Generals and the representatives of all the state councils joining us. It gives me so much pleasure to see all of them on the screen before me just now. I don't know whether you're able to see it, but I can see all of you, and makes me very happy. We have Jammu Kashmir, Maharashtra, UP, Uttarakhand, the Northeast states, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, to name just a few. And thank you so much for joining us and showing us your support. A very warm welcome. We are also live today on social media, so a warm welcome to all those who have joined us on social media and are listening to us and seeing us. And I would now request Shipra to take the program forward.
Thank you, President DCR ma'am. Thanks for always making DCR a shining example with your vision, your flawless planning, and your perfect leadership. While celebrating this milestone of successfully having completed 1 year, we look back at the journey that has been a reward in itself. With an audio visual presentation by the Secretary General of Delphic Council of Rajasthan, Sri Jitendra Soni sir, who is joining us from Alwar. Soni sir.
Namaste, a very good evening to all the dignitaries and office bearer of IDC, INDC and different state councils. I am Dr. Jitendra Kumar Soni, Secretary General of DCR. It is my proud privilege to showcase an audio-video presentation of all the offline and online activities we have done in last 1 year. Under the able guidance and leadership of the President of DCR, Sreya Guha ma'am, we as a team tried our best to reach out to the artists from different art forms to give them a suitable platform to exhibit, express and showcase their talents. On the occasion, I want to mention the continuous support and guidance of Secretary General IDC, Ramesh Prasanna ji. Thank you so much, Ramesh Prasanna ji. Now I'll request to Mr. Naveen ji to run the audio video of DCR at 1. Thank you so much. Namaste.
There is a minor glitch in the system, but we are trying to run the AV.
As President of the International Delphic Council, may I wish the best for the celebration of 27 years in India to the Delphic Council of Rajasthan and its President, Sreya Guha, and her team. In the
Greetings from Berlin.
Warmest greetings to you all. It's a wonderful pleasure seeing the performances of yours, and I'm very, very grateful for the efforts and for the undertaken to celebrate not only the 13th session of the International Delphic Council,
Having said that, we need to support the Amphictyony with the right advice. We need to support the Amphictyony with the right working, hands.
I would like to express my warm appreciation of the IDC team and the Indian initiative for the 27 years celebration.
Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us the honor of hosting this meeting.
I thank you, Secretary General DCR, Shri Soni sir, for the presentation of all the activities that were done in the last 1 year. We have organized 29 Delphic Dialogue online sessions, and since December, live curated events continuously, and the team behind it all that made this happen. The members, the executive members of DCR, they are going to introduce themselves one by one now. We begin with Mr. Nishant Jain.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all the dignitaries and all the office bearers of the International Council, National Council, other state councils, and obviously my very own Delphic Council of Rajasthan. I am Nishant Jain. I am an IAS officer of Rajasthan cadre. Previously, I was posted as Director of Tourism, Government of Rajasthan when DCR was before just 1 year from today. And now I am posted as District Collector of a beautiful district in Western Rajasthan called Jalore, where our Secretary General Sir has all has been the collector earlier, and now he is in Alwar district. So I am a literature and culture enthusiast, and that's why I am the proud member of DCR. And as per the in the kind leadership and directions of our President Ma'am, now we have now DCR is moving out of Jaipur also, and we are having a beautiful event at Jalore also under the banner of DCR. And I invite all of you, if you can spare some time in this month end, and visit Jalore in the monsoons and enjoy the Rajasthani cultural evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Next, Ms. Tejaswini Gautam.
Namaskar. A very good evening to all the dignitaries of the Delphic movement. I'm sorry I'm joining from a family function, but it was the anniversary of our DCR in Rajasthan, so I had to join. Sorry if my voice breaks or the network is unstable. I'm Tejaswini Gautam. I'm a 2013 batch Indian Police Service officer. But more than that, I am a theatre enthusiast, and I have been doing street theatre for the past 17 years, and that's how my association with DCR.
We think the connection has broken with Tejaswini ma'am. We are moving on to the next DCR member, Ms. Monali Sen from Dehradun.
Namaskar. Good evening all dignitaries and board bearers of International Council, Indian Council, all the state councils, and our DCR teams. And good evening, ma'am, to you also. And I welcome you all on this platform. I am Monali Sen. I am a 2011 batch Indian Forest Service officer from Rajasthan cadre. Presently, I am posted in Dehradun on deputation to Wildlife Institute of India. And here, I am trying to look after and provide support to our DCR team under Madam's guidance for the heritage part of our culture and the ecological earth. And today, this is a proud moment to be with all of you. I am away from Rajasthan, but being a cadre, the heart is there and it's the home. And this is such a celebratory moment for us all. And I wish all of us and all of the Delphic Council movement and the next year, the International Delphic Game, to be a stupendous success. And as just now Nishant has told, next time we are having to have a Jalore cultural events. And also next month, we are planning something on heritage site, which will be where we will talk about Gautam Buddha and its effect on the culture and the lineage on the Southeast Asian. And I wish you all a very good evening again. And once again, thank you all for joining this celebratory moment.
Thanks, Monali ji. Next, Ms. Manisha Guliani, who is with us in this conference hall today.
Namaste. I'm Manisha Guliani, and I'm an Indian classical Kathak dancer. And with a career span of 15 years, I have also curated an Indian classical dance festival, Thirakutsav, which has got a national acclaim in a very short span of 4 editions. Currently, I'm pursuing my PhD on Roberta, and I also teach. Over the years, I feel myself blessed for receiving lots of love, motivation, inspiration, and constant support for whatever I try to do in the field of Kathak dance as a dancer, teacher, and scholar. Thank you.
Next is Mr. Rahul Sood.
Good evening, everyone. Rahul Sood, basically I'm an actor and a filmmaker. As an actor, I have worked in many television, serials, and films. And as a filmmaker, I have my own production house under which we make all kinds of films like documentaries, ad films, feature films. I also run an acting school where we teach aspiring actors nitty-gritties of acting. And also, I am a YouTuber. Lastly, I would like to mention that it's a very proud and privileged thing for me to work under the leadership of Sreya. And I hope together we can make a difference.
Mr. Naveen Tripathi.
Namaskar and good evening. My name is Naveen Tripathi. I run a branding, advertising, communication design and digital marketing company called Mercury Design. I'm a cultural enthusiast, also organizing partner for 2 major folk festivals in Rajasthan. I'm a proud member of the Delphic Council of Rajasthan. Namaskar and good evening again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all the team members of DCR who could join and introduce themselves today. We would also like to introduce 2 of our executive members who could not join this webinar. Mr. Pankaj Dharendra, he's a superintending archaeologist and museologist looking after Amer Fort, enlisted as a World Heritage Site. And Mr. Shivankar Vishwas, a renowned artist and assistant professor at the Indian Institute of Crafts and Design in Jaipur. And lastly, me, Shipra Sharma, an executive member and treasurer of DCR, and having worked as a Rajasthan Administrative Services Officer in the Department of Art and Culture, I feel joining DCR as both as a homecoming and as a way to explore the wide world of art and culture. Moving ahead. Today, we not only celebrate our journey, but we also reflect upon the road ahead for the Delphic Games. And we have the Secretary General of International Delphic Council, Shri Ramesh Prasanna ji, who's going to share the roadmap for the road ahead. Shri Prasanna ji.
Good evening to all of you. It's absolutely a great pleasure for me to come back into an activity of the Delphic Council of Rajasthan, especially completing 1 year. And I know what it has taken to complete that 1 year, and you've been possibly the most consistent. I very fondly welcome, our President, International Delphic Council, Mr. Kirsch, without whose initiative and efforts we wouldn't be sitting here today. I mean, the global movement and all the things that we talk about is only because of his idea, that one man's vision and the one man's push and effort that he made. And that moment of truth that he got when he went to Greece is why we are sitting here today. I also warmly welcome Roberta Williams, who is our absolutely wonderful pillar of support in the International Delphic Council. We have wonderful members, but she happens to be one of them who is a leading light for us in terms of decisiveness. That's very important when you do voluntary activity. I warmly welcome, Eminent Pandey, and these are people I really need to, acknowledge, because Eminent Pandey has taken the, responsibility at a time when we possibly had a lot of strife, and I think, he's been steering it, so absolutely well. And Dr. Shantanu Agrahari ji, who is the Secretary General of the Indian Delphic Council, and each of my fellow colleagues here, and we have, I can see a lot many on the screen, and I must tell you that all the presidents and the secretary generals and those people who have attended this meeting, including our friend who has physically attended the meeting, which is a great example of how cross-cultural connections and how Delphic councils can meet each other. We have Dr. Kishore Navanda sitting there in Rajasthan at the moment. He's from a different state altogether. This is for the information of Mr. Kirsch and Roberta Williams. So this is the whole idea of inter-exchange of culture, of people, of engaging people with each other. And this is one of the greatest fruits or the gifts that we get out of the Delphic Games. When cultures meet and when arts, encounter each other, you have something beautiful that emerges out of it. So while the focus is the Delphic Games, when you speak about the roadmap, I will hit the point, is that what is it that we need to do to be able to be stronger than we are today? So one of the biggest challenges that all of us face here, every single person in the screen I see right now, has faced this challenge of how do you explain what is the Delphic movement to somebody who's a beginner and somebody who's a potential, member of the International Delphic Council. And to do that, there has to be a lot of groundwork made, a lot of homework done. And this is exactly what the International Delphic Council, after an excellent run of 27 years of having, hosted 7 games across so many continents and so many countries getting involved, we realized that we possibly now need to go down to the grassroots. We need to begin from the lowest common denominator. In the world, we have different kinds of people who have the resources and people who don't have the resources. Usually people who have the resources are the ones who end up coming to us and end up, doing these things. What about those people who have great talent but don't have the resources? What about those people who do not know about us but possibly would be very excited to come on board and make this movement even more stronger? And to that effect, I guess I'm going to just sum it up in this manner, is that we are looking at first strengthening the global organization even more stronger in terms of the cooperative structure that we have. So when we talk about the global organization, we always wear the, what you call that, the apex body, and then there were different countries. But now, and when the countries happened, we did not know what the countries would do within their countries. We only saw them during the games. Now we want to do something better. So Rajasthan has the credit of being the very first regional Delphic Council in the world. And my congratulations to Rajasthan from the entire International Delphic Council fraternity, especially the Amphictyony, the international board, for being so. And therefore, starts the story. When you started regional councils, you actually did this to reach out to the last mile. And then when you started the regional council then created district council. So you went down still further. You went down to the last mile again. So therefore, we are talking about coming up from district to the state, to the nation, and then to the world. And therefore, the global organization is being strengthened in this fashion. And therefore, the administrative structures that actually govern the international organization obviously also has to be more stronger. The legal teeth has to be better. In terms of protection of our intellectual property rights, that has to be better. Because the moment you are, successful beyond a point in any region, you certainly have people, doing things which possibly are poor copies of what we do. But the point is, as long as we do it right and we protect ourselves right, I think we are very much good in the game. The second point, which I think we are going to be focusing on, is creating artistic communities. If you know, there are 6 art categories we have, and each art category is a world by itself. When we talk about the Delphic Games, we are the only common floor in the world which encompasses 6 categories. And these 6 categories, mind you, is the brainwork of Mr. Kirsch, who has spent a couple of years researching and putting all these under one umbrella, and therefore you have the 6 categories today. So when we talk about 6 categories, we also have categories nobody else has. We have architecture, ecology, we have got social arts. So therefore, it's very important for us to create communities around those. So when you say architecture, don't you think there's a huge community of architects? There is a whole world out there. So each of these, we want to build communities. These communities will be using social media, physical means and all of that. Then the overlapping communities and the overlapping ecosystems then creates the movement even more stronger. So this is something that we push. The other thing that we want to do is make stronger councils. Instead of we trying to expect councils to stand on their own and start dancing, we would rather want to extend our helping hand to make them stronger. There are councils which are very strong. There are councils which are weak. There are councils which are strong but are unable to do work because of lack of resources. Can we help them? Is something that we would like to look at. The other thing that we would like to do is stronger diplomatic outreach, diplomatic connections. I would remember that Sreya Guha has met with the UNESCO India chief when he was in Rajasthan. I mean, these are the things that one needs to really do, to actually get into the networking mode and do it even more professionally, do it even more with the focus and with a certain purpose. Then we are talking about, stronger communication, changing the communication. The way we talk is very good. Our story is fantastic. Our narrative is very good. But how does the common man understand this? How do you reach out to how do you make it idiot proof in simple words? Because there are a lot of people who are very talented, but they are not exactly great at communication, neither understanding it nor communicating. How do you make it good for them? That's the other thing we would look at. Then we are looking at inclusiveness at every level, so that everybody feels included, everybody feels that the movement is theirs, and therefore the movement then grows, and then it kind of becomes better. Then we are talking about targeting the very, very basic, where we start from. All of us were children at one time. Whatever we learned when we were kids is what we carry today. And therefore, children are a very, very important component of the IDC's next. And we're looking at Delphic clubs, we are looking at Delphic activities for schools, we're looking at engaging them in many ways so that 10 years hence, 15 years hence, they are Delphic members. And that's what makes the movement grow. And then we're talking about the youth. Youth are, very edgy. They have great ideas. They are the pushers today. They are the people who really make things happen in the world today. And this is the, a category that we need to look at. And the amateur artists who are aspiring professionals, who are not professionals yet, but they have great promise. What do we do for them? They are the ones who really look up to us. They are the ones who want us to hold their hands. Can the Delphic Games or other platforms be more useful to them? And last but not the least, the professionals who are already great, can we see how can we help them and how can they help us to be able to reach out to the others. And therefore comes the other story is how do we go about doing good properties. Delphic Games, the Youth Delphic Games, then we are talking about the Delphic clubs. Then we are talking about the Delphic Art Wall project that we have. It's a great idea that we can keep pushing all over the world. We are talking about the National Delphic Games. In every country, which never used to happen, we used to do Delphic Games per se, and that was good enough for us. But I guess every country needs to do a Delphic Games to galvanize their own forces, their own awareness, their own ecosystems. That's what we would like to do. Other than that, we are also looking at doing something like the continental games for continents. Once every continent has got more than 10 countries in order, in functionally order, we do that. And then certainly one of the things that I would love to look at is the circular economy of how IDC is able to generate a circular economy that supports councils. The first complaint I hear from any council anywhere in the world is that raising money is a task. The reason being that none of us are professional fundraisers. None of us are professionals in doing things. We are good at various things. How do we help them? How do we help each council? So therefore, we are coming up with things like Delphic school certification programs and things like that, which are professionally mounted so that you are able to generate fees out of it, you're able to generate money out of it, and therefore level 1 goes to level 2, then to 3, then to 4. The circular economy circulates like that. So if the International Delphic Council is funding it, then it funnels upside down. If it's going from a district level, it goes from bottoms up. The idea is to make sure that everybody is supported in the basic way possible. Then, of course, there are many things that you do, and if the state has got good enough resources, you have great better talent, you're all free to do stuff. There's no competition between councils. There is absolutely none. It is all a brotherhood. It's all some sort of a sisterhood. That's some sort of a cooperative kind of a structure we have. But having said that, the spirit of doing better, looking at one another, is something that we would like to foster. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite the Secretary General of Indian Delphic Council, Sri Shantanu Agrahari ji. He will present the Indian roadmap for the Delphic movement.
On this auspicious occasion of first year of conception of DCR, I really appreciate the august presence of Mr. Kirsch, President IDC, Mr. Ramesh Prasanna, Secretary General IDC, Mr. Roberta Williams, National Amphictyony member of IDC, Shri N. Pandey ji, President Indian Delphic Council, Srimati Shreya Guha ma'am, President Delphic Council of Rajasthan, and Dr. Jitendra Kumar sir, Secretary General of Delphic Council of Rajasthan, and all my esteemed Delphin friends from Rajasthan and across nook and corner of India. I really extend my warm to everybody as well as a very good evening to you. I am Dr. Shantanu Agrahari. I am 2012 batch IS officer, presently posted in Government of India, and presently extending the activities of Indian Delphic Council as a Secretary General. What I mean to say, though the history of Delphic movement in India is quite old, but it was the conception of Delphic Council of Rajasthan when the strikes his presence with full pomp and glam. It is the Delphic Council of Rajasthan which is continuously active throughout the year without having even a single gap, even during the period of third wave of COVID also. And just because of the motivation which Rajasthan Delphic Council is extending to every other state also, we remain connected in this virtual world, in a virtual platform, and never feel that we are being disassociated or we are being disconnected. And it was being fairly evident during the 27th years of celebrations, anniversary celebration of IDC, when most of the states, Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Chandigarh, Tamil Nadu, Uttarakhand have organized a serial of successful events, which ultimately led to a road of Delphic movement in India. And Indian Delphic Council also got extended support through various states. Presently, as the Secretary General of INDC, I am happy to highlight some facts about the movement of Delphic movement in India. That right, we have 27 active member states. Some are in formation and some are being already formed. But all of us are very active. We are possibly the first nation to have legally registered regional bodies that represent the true aspirations of artists and culture. We are also the first nation to have a structure with regular meetings and follow-ups. We are adding more states as we go forward, and the target is to have 36 out of 36 Indian states and territories in India as a member of the Indian Delphic. We are starting the first ever National Delphic Games, which is being conceptualized, and we are going to organize it as a national event by the end of the year 2023, with the precursor of those events as a form of state level events to be scheduled, which are already being scheduled to be held in the month of January 2023. And presently, all of these states are having their own logos with their intellectual property, as well as a national logo, which is already being formalized, and the author is already extended their support to us in that regard. As a road ahead for us, the most important thing which we are going to lead is to organize a national council as well as national council and state council meetings with each state and work in cooperation. Appointment of regional coordinators to inspire, handhold, and promote the movement and help the states in their day-to-day basis. Organizing the National Delphic Art Wall project across states as a uniform project to make sure we reach out to many people, as well as promoting the Delphic clubs in a uniform way through state council with the Delphic club committee, so that the artists can also get a smaller platform to telecast and showcase their talent as well as to earn a livelihood, and promote collaborative activities between the states, not having any sense of competition. But as the IDC Secretary General has very well appreciated, that with the concept of brotherhood and ensuring a regular media and social media coverage, so that this movement should move forward and never it should never have any sense of lacking further activities. As we go along, will strengthen the movement and would like to be an example to the IDC world. These are the final culmination of my opinion, and with the very full and warm extended support by IDC Secretary General Mr. Ramesh Prasanna ji, definitely Delphic movement is going to achieve new laurels. I have the new heights of hope for the Delphic movement in India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And now we have with us the visionary and the harbinger of the Delphic movement, uh, founder and president of International Delphic Council, Mr. Kirsch, with a vision statement for the Delphic movement. Sir.
I must admit, I miss that I will have a direct personal contact to you all. I miss it, and I hope there will come a time soon where we can meet each other and digest each other. I like techniques, but I like more the personal contact. So may I at first let me salute to Ms. Sreya, the President of the Delphic Council of Rajasthan, to Dr. Jitendra, Kumar, Soni, the Secretary General of, and the whole team of the Delphic Council of Rajasthan, as well as naturally my admired Ramesh Prasanna, the IDC Secretary General, for your dedication, persistence, and foresight. The motto you choose, DCR at 1, the road ahead. Great. The road ahead, committed towards the future we share with state-of-art technologies and research results, respecting the importance of skill, of content, and timeless values in its diversity of past centuries. The road ahead is resting on the symbiosis of a great vision to pass on a timeless ancient belief, a valuable target, our body and mind reaching equal terms, a profound research uniting world arts and culture, a pragmatic structure with respected rules and regulations. Let me highlight two key elements, uniting from my point of view, past and future. Water, a spiritual element of life of ancient Delphic games and today, and worldwide rituals to praise the element of life and unity. Each Delphic games will start with the water ceremony. And the second key element, the 6 Delphic art categories, uniting the artistic skills of yesterday and tomorrow. 4 common art categories we are familiar with, like musical arts and sounds, performing arts and acrobatic, language arts and rhetoric, visual arts and crafts, and 2 new art categories. Experts and scientific world smiled about when we came up with it, even saying this art category does not exist. Insisting even arts and cultures cannot be organized being too diverse.
we speak about social arts and communication, including rituals, community plays, internet education, computer games, pedagogic and didactic, and the last but not least, the ecological arts and architecture, landscape and village and city design, preservation of nature, architectural and archaeological monuments, urban planning, building parks, playgrounds. Thanks, as I saw in your picture and your film, to the Delphic Council of Rajasthan and to Ms. Guha in particularly, to make the 21st December, the end of the last year, a very special day, celebrating the IDC 27th anniversary in Jaipur. It was amazing. And it was another destination, another, let's say, reception of India under the symbol of the 6 interlacing rings and the 6 art categories as its related art disciplines. To strengthen souls and spirit, to inspire all of us, to build up innovation, to foster understanding and respect, and to preserve peace. I send you warmest greetings from Berlin and salute to all of yours being part of the history we write together, the Delphic Games of modern times today. Let me close with the saying of a Brazilian priest, Dom Helder Câmara. If someone dreams alone, it remains a dream. If many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to be with you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your presence today in this webinar and your kind words. And on behalf of the whole DCR team, I hope that on our 2nd anniversary, we'll be able to host you in person rather than virtually. Thank you so much for your kind words, your address to us. And we are indeed grateful to you. And now I invite Ms. Roberta Williams, Amphictyony member and legal advisor to International Delphic Council, to speak on Delphic movement, building a new ethos.
Greetings from the United States. Namaste to all of you. Many thanks to Ms. Guha for her kind invitation to this event, and especially to Ramesh, Prasanna, for thinking of including my humble thoughts. And to the guests and esteemed officials, and especially my dear friend, Kirsch, for the opportunity to share this very important 1st anniversary of your organization. Thank you to the Delphic Council of Rajasthan. And for your ongoing efforts on behalf of the International Delphic Council, an organization with an honorable history and an inspirational future because of you. I am sure you've heard much about our honorable past, and it truly has been an honorable past, both in ancient times and present day under our prior leadership with Mr. Kirsch. But I don't want to tell you about our past or even to look back. I want to talk to you about our future, your future. I want to do this with an examination of ethos. And what is ethos? What is our ethos going into the future? Ethos is a collective spirit or character of an organization. The fundamental or underlying beliefs and attitudes that influence customs and practices. The word is Greek in origin, like our Delphic movement. It was used by Aristotle to describe character, especially in the balance between passion and caution. As your Delphic Council of Rajasthan, along with all the other Delphic councils of the world, move forward, I believe it is crucial to continue to develop and maintain a collective ethos and keep it in the forefront and maintain our balance between passion and caution. As times change and the world changes around us, we must examine our Delphic movement ethos in 2022. To do this, we need to look at what constitutes ethos. There's three components. Phronesis, also a Greek word, and we use it in English. It's the wisdom in determining the ends and the means to achieve those ends. As we grow our organization, what do we want to achieve and how do we want to achieve it? Are we communicating effectively, regularly, and positively? Are we using sound judgment? Aristotle said this component of ethos involves constantly weighing the relative value of our arguments in the face of decisions and actions. Our Secretary General, Mr. Prasanna, has worked diligently on developing new structures for your use in this ever-changing age of mass media and technology. I've seen it put into practice by many of you here in India, and we hope to duplicate your positive and successful efforts elsewhere. Your use of good judgment is clearly reaping rewards in growing numbers and positive movement towards your goals. The second component of ethos is arati. It is an aggregate of qualities that make up good character. It's the search for excellence of everything, in everything, of every kind. The international Delphic movement is and always has been about arati. We must move forward, continuing this search for quality in everything we do and in every experience that we create. And the last component is eunoia. Evnoia in Greek. It is the importance of creating goodwill, the reciprocity between those giving and creating and those receiving it. It is truly what we Delphic warriors are all about. The movement is not just about finding art and culture in the world, but about sharing it in a way that the giver and the receiver have interaction. Both get something from the experience. In the act of sharing art and culture, which is what we do in the Delphic movement, it creates a reciprocity. The result is understanding, and that understanding is ultimately peace, our greatest goal. My wish in sharing these rather complex concepts of ethos is to encourage us as an organization to develop and formulate our ethos in this era to be compatible with the time and with our Delphic mission. I am not addressing this concept just for the events that we aim to create, but for our organization itself, our individual councils, our national councils, and international council as well. Ethos provides meaning and purpose to an organization and acts to attract and influence our members and our governance of each other. People want to work for a cause. Ethos is strongly linked to purpose and gives meaning to what is being done. Our organizations on every level must provide deeply held core values, a common understanding, and thereby trust. That allows individuals to act creatively. Our Delphic movement is about creativity, both within and without our organization. Again, many thanks to all of you and for the opportunity to be with you. I am honored, and I leave you with words that Mr. Kirsch has said to us in the IDC many times in a quote from Victor Hugo, Nothing is as powerful as an idea whose time has come. And I believe that India has shown that this is true. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. We all echo your vision, and we thank you for enumerating and elucidating so clearly the core values and the ethos of the Delphic movement. And we assure you that the Indian Delphic movement is a force to reckon with amongst all the nations who are associated with the Delphic Council. And therefore, today, to give the keynote address in this webinar, we have the President of Indian Delphic Council, Shri N.N. Pandey ji, who is going to address us now. Shri N.N. Pandey will join us shortly.
He's here. I think you need to unmute yourself, sir.
I have unmuted. Not yet audible.
We can hear you, sir. Please,
okay.
carry on.
Let me at the outset congratulate Delphic Council of Rajasthan for completing this successful, momentous journey and organizing the first anniversary meet. And let me welcome formally Sri Christian Kirsch, Chairperson of IDC, our own Secretary General IDC, Sri Ramesh Prasanna ji, Madam Roberta Williams, our Secretary General Shantanu Agrahari ji, Chairperson DCR Sreya Guha ma'am and her team, and all friends and office bearers of Delphic councils across the states and the countries who have logged in. Well, ma'am Roberta Williams described the essence of Delphic ethos, which we have been from our childhood been nurtured. And there is a punchline which says, Ano bhadrah kratavo yantu vishwatah. That is, let noble thoughts come from every side. And in every fora, our Prime Minister says that this is one world, one planet, one sun, and we have true camaraderie and cohesiveness, share the resources in a way that we enjoy the resources and also leave it intact for the future generations. Now, in India, we are nascent in terms of our state outfits. Some states have done pretty well, like Rajasthan, which is showcasing its achievement and the audio visuals we have gone through. We have is equally very active. So also Maharashtra, so also Assam in Northeast, and other states are also speedily catching up, and hand-holding activity is being done by Ramesh Prasanna ji and Shreya Guha ji and all others. So I think we have decided for ourselves, as our Secretary General pointed out, that we would be holding National Delphic Games next year, maybe January, February, and we are on that task. Of course, in many states, we are yet to form formally and register as a unit, but there have been committees which have been successfully organizing events like the one which was done in Pune and Mumbai only recently. And therefore, as Christian Kurz in his address pointed out, the essence and the ethos in terms of the modern catastrophic developments around, it's only the art which can hold us together. which can provide hope, which can provide sustenance, which can provide quality, which can provide meaning to our existence. And through art only, not only we know ourselves, but we also know everyone else better and more deeply. We are all very much connected spiritually through art, and it is an expression of finer sentiments. And what science cannot achieve, art can achieve. Science can make one live longer, maybe for 100 years, but art can make one willing to live longer, up to 100 years and more. And therefore, it's the art which provides the essence. And in India, we are trying in our own way to showcase the whole kaleidoscope which every state offers, because every state has its own USP. We have Rajasthan, where we find lot of folk music, lot of art, puppetry, humor, etc. We in Northeast have our own other art forms. We have so many dance forms, both folk as well as classical. So many, musical expressions. So in the next days, we hope to showcase our potential and put it before the world stage. At this stage, I would once again congratulate DCR and its leader, Sreya Guhaji, and the whole team, Dr. Jitendra Soni ji, Nishant Jain ji, Madam Sharma, and all others associated with showcasing the present event today. And also congratulate Mr. Kirsch, Mr. Prasanna ji, Roberta Williams, and all my Delphic colleagues for making it to the event. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the message of the timeless Indian philosophy, art, and culture, which resonates in the Delphic movement too. Today, we are in august company gathered here in the common desiderata of peace and harmony through art and culture. And to commemorate this noble vision and also our anniversary, we shall witness the online unveiling of a commemorative plaque which celebrates the series of events in last 1 year. I request our President Ma'am to do the honors of unveiling the plaque digitally.
I would request Mudit-ji, please, can we have the unveiling? We will be sending the electronic copies of this plaque to each and every participant today. So this is just to commemorate our anniversary. Thank you.
Ma'am. We shall also share with you online. I would like to mention that it's not only the team that is visible here, but we have lots of people who are working behind the scene and contributing continuously. So ma'am has recently introduced certificates of appreciation for these contributors and friends of DCR. I request Mudiji to please share the picture, the prototype of the certificate on screen.
Since we have a full ecosystem which supports us for every event, and not just that, but the way we have been progressing over the year. So this is the certificate which we have been giving in our events, and we will continue to give. So we just wanted to show that to all the other states as well, that this is an initiative that we've taken. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Shri Furqan Khan, who is not only our executive member, but he is also the force behind most of our programs with his creative insights and his long experience of curation of art and culture events. Sir, before you begin the open house discussion on the road ahead with all the respected State Council President and guests, I request you to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Shipraji. Good evening, everybody. I am Furqan Khan. Am I audible, sir?
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Uh, I am Furqan Khan, the executive member of the Delphic Council of Rajasthan. By profession, I am a curator, manager, and administrator of cultural festivals. And as a hobby, I am a photographer also. I love writings in 3 languages, Hindi, English, and Urdu. Today, I've been assigned to do the moderating of the open house discussion. Thank you for this honor. And with the permission of the founder president, how I declare this session as the open for discussion. But since the time is limited, I would request every member to contribute their views, shares in a small little time, and I will call one by one, invite so that they can express and share and their ideas, views, and suggestion. And for a meaningful discussion, this order is to be, I think it is necessary. Uh, I think 2 minutes time will be enough for any participant. First, let us begin with the senior most member, Sir Ajay Mishra, sir. Please share your views about the whatever about the DCR and the International Delphic Council. Ajay Mishra, sir.
I think good evening to everyone. First of all, I'll start by congratulating Shreya Guha for what I can say a remarkable start to the state journey, which she has shown the path during last 1 year, and to her total team also. I can only say one thing. If we had 2 dozen Shreya Guhas in our state, in our country, see, our movement would have been much, much ahead. So that is all I have to say. And we will also try to emulate some of the things which she has started in her state. With this, I would congratulate her and her team wholeheartedly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, the Shreya Guha ma'am is behind all the DCR activities. She is the inspiration, and we are in the DCR because of her. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Now I invite Yamini Telkarji, please. Yamini Telkarji. Okay.
Good evening, everybody, and congratulations to Shreya Guha and team DCR for completing a year. I think the road ahead for us is, like it has been pointed out, to take this message of Delphic movement to our youth and the next generation. I think having a common platform where we have 6 different art categories is something quite unique, and we need to emphasize that because in today's day and age, when everybody's kind of getting into niche and specializations, and everything is accessible, somewhere along the line, the comprehensiveness of all the arts and the interconnectedness has kind of slipped out, and we should leverage this opportunity and take this message further. Furqanji and I have had brief conversations on this about the games and what can be done. I think one thing that comes out clearly is that though we say it's game, it is about competition, but it is also about creating a legacy for our future generation, the youth especially, and communicating the sanctity of the interconnectedness of the creative space. And I think I'm good at that. So congratulations and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Yamini ji, for the nice word for the DCR. And now I invite Ashok Singh ji, who is from the beautiful state of Jammu and Kashmir. He is the president of Jammu and Kashmir Delphic Council. Please.
Thank you, Furqan ji. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
Ashok.
Good evening to everybody. First of all, I would like to congratulate my sister Shreya Guha ma'am to commemorate the first anniversary of DCR.
and on account of her great efforts for taking DCR to the highest peak in India. She is of an instrumental character and an inspiration for all of us, and has set a roadmap for other states, including Jammu and Kashmir. She is also playing a pivotal role and is a guiding factor for Indian Delphic Council also. Today, it's a great day for all of us that we are in a meeting with Mr. Kirsch, who is the founder of IDC, due to which art and culture is moving fast in India and across the world. Since I am from J&K, I would let you know that J&K is also trying its level best to move forward and celebrate. And we celebrated the 27th founding anniversary of IDC, besides other art and culture programs. J&K recently has started an international series on Virasat Jammu and Kashmir, and we have completed its 11th episode, which is going and really well for the Indians and NRIs. We are hosting the second National Delphic Summit at Srinagar in September 2022. We'll also organize snow sculpturing at Gulmarg, Srinagar, J&K, as and when approved by the INDC and IDC as well. No doubt, we have faced a lot of issues, but I must tell you that the great work that has been put in to create a great movement in India is very impressive, and it is time we focus on the larger picture of cooperation between us. We are 27 states today, and it is not easy to do this. It is not easy to do this. I'm speaking from the core of the heart. It takes a lot of efforts and sleepless nights, built moments like this, and it is my immense good fortune that Mr. Kirsch, our founder, is here between us. I came from Jammu and Kashmir, that is famous for its natural beauty and culture, as it is for conflicts. And it is here that we have a paucity of resources and a lack of exposure as well. And instead of complaining, we are taking it on ourselves to lead from the front, cheerless others, and ensure we in India are one united force. So, brothers and sisters, let's make more councils and make them strong and help each other. Let's look at collaborations in India and abroad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashok Singh sir. You have been a great motivating force for other states also. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Neeraj Agrawal ji.
Namaskar. I am Neeraj Agrawal, an Indian Telecommunication Service Officer of 91 batch. I belong to Jaipur, and presently I am posted as ADG in Doordarshan and All India Radio in Mumbai.
Okay, sure.
I congratulate Delphic Council Rajasthan for completing 1 year, and Sreya Guha ji for taking this initiative and so much of work she is doing for this. I first of all thank Ali Akbar Rizvi, my friend in Bombay, who initiated me for this. Otherwise, I was not aware of this good activity happening elsewhere in the world. I thank him. Recently, I met Mr. Ramesh Prasanna also, and we interacted what else we can do for the good of this organization and for the general good of the society through this organization. I'll keep doing whatever I can do. Thank you.
Furqan ji, your audio.
Thank you, Neeraj Agrawal sir. Now I invite Mr. Suresh Thomas sir.
Hi, everybody. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. I am the president for the state of Maharashtra. I've had the honor of interacting with almost everybody here on this group during our Delphic summit in Delhi a couple of months ago, 2 months ago. I think the movement is gaining momentum. I think we need, like I think Ashok Singh said, that we should unite. I think we need to come up with a couple of common policies and guidelines which can help all of us. Of course, we all have our independent, independent opportunities in different states. But I think there's a lot to learn. Congratulations, Rajasthan. I think there's a lot to learn from there. And I think I'm just wishing all of us the best. I think this is a great opportunity for all of us to push arts and culture in India. And there's so much to learn, not only from our associates all over India, but also from other parts of the world, who I hope we'll be interacting with soon. Thank you all very much, and pleasure to be a part of all this.
Thank you very much, Suresh sir. And apart from independent activities, the best part of the culture is that the culture connects, and we are trying to do this thing. Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite, sir. Now I invite from the Northeast, Swapnil Barua, the president of the Northeast Delphic Council. Swapnil Barua. Swapnil Barua.
Just unmuting myself. There you are. Can you see me? Hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
yes.
Yes, there I am. A great pleasure to be here in today's meeting. Congratulations to Sreya, Guha and her team. It was a pleasure talking to her after 10 years today, in fact. I've been associated with cultural promotion since 1972, which makes it 50 years. Since the day I first entered college. And in fact, today I had a function of one of the organizations which I was a president. But a sore throat and fever has kept me away. Anyway, we have started on the Northeast chapter of the Delphic Council. As you have found out that nature has been very cruel on us, I must say that there's been a lot of floods around in the entire Northeast, which has not really been able to put us on the job of getting the organization on our feet. Technically, we have been able to get our people together. The registration process is about to begin. And we hope to be inspired by you to carry on the good work, which I'm sure I'll get back to Sreya ji to guide us and all of you there as to how we should go ahead. So looking forward to great days ahead and maybe meet you, all of you, individually or together at some time or the other. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Swapnil sir. And Ishrat ma'am from Tamil Nadu has just joined. I would like to invite her to express her views. Ishrat ma'am.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I got delayed. I went for an appointment. So, well, since I haven't heard much, Shreya ji had given the agenda for the meeting, so I had some idea. And congratulations to you, Shreya ji. And I believe somebody from UP is there, then congratulations to them also. We've been also struggling for the registrations. My auditor keeps saying this week, and it keeps on going. So hopefully this month we should be registered. And I'm waiting. Ramesh ji has given me the go ahead for the website. I feel once we have a connecting website and everybody can, cooperate and do things there, there'll be more increase in membership, and we can start a drive for membership. Meanwhile, of course, we are planning for a art exhibition, so I think all of us are doing something or the other. But I think in the coming months we will catch up with Rajasthan. They have been the leaders. That is all for now that I have to say.
Thank you very much, Ishrat ma'am. Hope your council will overcome all the issues which you are facing now. And now I invite Vaibhav Kumar Modi ji. Vaibhav Kumar Modi ji. Vaibhav sir.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, please.
Yes,
Yes,
Namaskar, everyone.
Namaskar.
Such a pleasure to connect with everyone here from the International Delphic Council, from the National Delphic Council, and all the state members. It is indeed an absolute pleasure to be connected to such a movement which has been pushing art and culture forward. And I, along with all the other states, look forward to make sure that this reaches the every nook and corner of the country. Having said that, let me also take the opportunity of congratulating the entire Delphic team of Rajasthan, which has been leading the way and making sure that all the other states are up to date, are up to speed, and making sure that we are catching up on the movement. So thank you, Ma'am Shreya, for leading the way. Thank you for even putting this entire meeting together today for all of us to connect and make sure that the Delphic movements reach faster and way more ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vaibhav Kumarji. You have been a great help in the Gurugram meeting. I remember. Thank you very much. Now, Rizwan Sikandar sir. Rizwan Sikandar sir. Rizwan Sikandar sir. I think there is some problem in the network issue. So now move on to some other members. It's Mr. Shahid Khan. Mr. Shahid Khan. Mr. Shahid Khan.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure to see you all on the screen. I'm so pleased and overwhelmed to see the initiatives.
Shahid, could I just request you to introduce yourself? I would request all the speakers to also introduce themselves.
Yeah, my name is Shahid Ali Khan. I work in the University of Kashmir as the Youth Welfare Officer, and I'm in charge of all the cultural activities in Kashmir University. And I'm in the field for the last 20 years. And I'm also cultural coordinator with the Association of Indian Universities. That's a brief history. Coming to the point that yes, Rajasthan under the leadership of Shreya ma'am, it's inspiration for all of us. And from my side, with the permission of my president, Mr. Ashok Singh ji, we are scheduled with a national summit in September, and before that, in August, inshallah, we'll be coming up with offline event, that art wall, and will be involving students, youth from across Jammu and Kashmir with that activity. And if possible, if we are helped by the government and by the IDC and International Delphic Councils, we'll be inviting few of the people from state Delphic Councils, including Shreya ma'am and others from across the country. And yes, together, we can build this Delphic Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Shahid Khan sir. We will be joining in Srinagar soon in the meeting. Now there is one more member, Abhishek Agrawal ji. Would you like to say something? Abhishek ji.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. And I am Abhishek Agarwal, and I'm a Deputy Secretary General of IDC and Treasurer of Telangana Council. And I welcome all dignitaries. And I firstly like to congratulate Shreya ma'am and their team to complete 1 year of IDC so successful and giving each state a boost. And my opinion on the IDC roadmap is that how can we connect with all small dots and make a structure and keep hold of each and every state and make them move forward. as we are a non-profit organization and working as a volunteer, and each of us member are carrying their own professional work, but then also working working for a good cause and interest. As everyone have taken their own time and come and attended this meeting for their own interest and all. So I thank each and every member of the council to attending this meeting. And it might take bit time to organize each and everything as a base structure. But once when we are done with all the structuring part and make a structure out of that, I think that will be a good format to move more forward. And I think we need to take Rajasthan as a benchmark for each and every state and move ahead. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek sir. Everybody will try to achieve the goal which you have described. And now I invite Ali Akbar Rizvi sir. Ali Akbar Rizvi, please carry on.
Good evening to all. I would first of all like to congratulate Team Rajasthan on this beautiful achievement. I would like to start by welcoming our President Eminent Pandey ji and our Secretary General Shantanu ji, Ramesh Prasanna ji as well, and to all the other dignitaries. Good evening. So I think the road forward for IDC under these leaders will definitely be definitely fall in place soon as we are planning and working towards achieving our goal. And I think all the beautiful people out here putting in their positive energy through art and culture will definitely get an opportunity to achieve the goals we are trying to target, whether our tie-ups are concerned, whether our grassroots are concerned, whether our 6 art categories are concerned, and whatever we can do best as a Delphian to add value, not only for Delphic Council of Maharashtra, but to the Delphic Council in particular. We'll definitely try our level best. And looking at Rajasthan, I'm sure it's a beautiful example set by Sreya ji and her team. And we should definitely carry forward that energy to all the other council and try to take it forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rizvi sir. Now Uma Shankar Gupta, please. Uma Shankar Gupta ji. Uma Shankar sir. There seems to be some problem. Okay, when he will be audible, we will again join him. Now I just, sir, it's not audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Uma Shankar ji, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
हेलो
Yes.
मैं उमा शंकर गुप्ता चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हूँ।
Yes,
मैं
sir.
फर्स्ट एनिवर्सरी राजस्थान की टीम को और श्रेया मैडम को बहुत हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ और उनके लीडरशिप में जो भी काम हो रहा है वो बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है, बाकी स्टेटों के लिए भी इंस्पायरिंग है। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद आपका बहुत बहुत। Now I think everybody has participated in that. If anybody has left and want to please raise the hand, we will invite him. But one question to all our members: what is your roadmap? What to achieve the goal which Delphic has prescribed? Anybody wants to contribute on this? What is the roadmap of their council? What have they designed? What they are thinking? So can anybody throw some light on it about their councils? Okay.
Can I add this?
Yes.
So where Maharashtra is concerned, we are right now planning to basically tie up with few platforms. So platform, when I mean that we have the 6 art categories. So we are working towards, simultaneously we are working on all the goals as given by the Delphic Council, but we are simultaneously trying to work on tie-ups with the platforms in all the categories. For example, if it's music, so maybe we have something as a music label which can tie up with us to give a chance to a Delphian to perform as a music singer. Same way, we are making a roadmap in each category, but gradually and slowly we'll penetrate and make some platforms where through Delphic, people get a platform to reach out to the concerned audience which we are trying to reach out to.
Thank you very much. Any other respectable member, please want to contribute on this issue? Okay.
Furqanji, Dr. Swarnkar has joined, but is he here or he's on social media? Or he's joined on YouTube, so he cannot.
I think it's not visible here, ma'am.
No, I think he's joined with the other link because Dr. Swarnkar is the president of the UP Council, so we would have liked him to also contribute.
I don't see Swarnkar on the list, ma'am.
No, he's on YouTube because he's just sending a message on YouTube. He has joined, but he's joined with the other link.
So now we should conclude this. I think everybody is participating.
I would request Prasanna ji to kind of sum up and tell us, because as the IDC Secretary General, what would be his expectations from all the state councils?
Well, thank you. See, the first thing that I would like to put out is that we need to get stronger with our structures, because each, when our foundations are strong, I think that's where we build on. So I think our structures need to be strong. Our communication, internal communication needs to be strong. So one of the things that I have seen in my experience of the last year and all is that many councils are very well informed at the apex level. But when it comes to memberships, when it comes to other people, there's a lot of disparateness also, and there's a lot of discrepancies as well. So I think very few, states I can see who have actually taken everybody along, and you are an example of that. So, but not all of them have been able to do it. Maybe there are challenges, but I'm saying we need to focus on that. So structures, communication, number 2. Number 3 is we should be well planned. We should behave like an institution. We cannot be like a mom and pop show where we suddenly get up one morning and want to do something. I mean, this is something that we need to totally avoid. I think most of the bigger issues that crop up, most of the interpersonal issues that happen within state councils is primarily because of these one-upmanship situations. And I think that is where the ethos, what Roberta Williams so well phrased out and how nicely articulated, comes in, that kicks in. So I think there has to be an orientation exercise of everybody who comes on board. See, if you remember, in the beginning, we did orientation meetings. We spoke about the Delphic idea and all that. Similarly, you need to have orientation meetings of not only the Delphic idea, you also need to have orientation meetings of what do you define as your own council, what your ethos is, so that everybody then kind of subscribes to that idea. And I think that is very important, because when, as IDC, for example, and Roberta ji would say that, possibly second me on that, we are trying to build an absolutely vibrant ethos right now. Earlier it was again apex, and then there was this was how the structure was. But we're trying to make a flatter structure. We are trying to put things in place in a manner where we are all, there together on the same page. And I think this is very important. Last but not the least, I would say that, memberships need to be chosen well. I think, some councils have done this. Some councils have just taken on members because members, if one refers the other. But I think before you take in memberships, you need to do a bit of due diligence. You need to sit down, talk to that person, give them a bit of a briefing about what the whole idea is about, and then let them sink into that idea. Only when they are actually voluntarily want to do it, that's when you want to take them on board. I think membership is extremely important, and you can see the difference between states and between how people conduct. So people who are here, for example, are well chosen, and people who possibly, there are many more people who are there who want to do stuff, but they don't have the orientation enough. And I think we need to focus on that. So my summary of all of this is, let's first get our act together at home. And therefore, we'll be able to do things, externalize ourselves even better. That's what my thing is. And whoever has done it already well, Sreya ji, you have done it well. I think you need to also, reach out. When people reach out to you, I'm sure you'll be besieged with calls. So I think you need to also help them to try and galvanize. If there is anything you need of us, There is Roberta ji, there is me. We are all the time available. We are available for anything in the IDC's firmament, and we should be able to do it. And also, one very important thing is that mutual respect, that is goes without saying. And I think that's what we practice. And that's why we are able to take people along with us. And that's one of the things that everybody needs to practice. And that works very well for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the guidance.
I'd just like to add to that Pandey sir keeps telling me that I should contribute a little more, maybe at the national level, but I just wanted to mention for everybody that I'm always available for any query or anything that you would need any assistance with. And what I gather, and I think it's been a very good discussion today because all of us have been on one forum and we've deliberated on what we should do in the coming year. So I can see a very busy year for all of us where the ones who have already taken off, they need to consolidate and they need to then decide on what kind of assistance and support they can give to the councils who need that kind of support. And what Ramesh just mentioned about building institutions and consolidating ourselves. So that is more important, I feel, rather than, I mean, we keep doing events. That is, of course, it helps with the branding and it helps with spreading the message across. But until you build an institution, it is very difficult to sustain and take it forward. So I think we've spent an hour and a half. So maybe now it's time to close. If any member has anything to say, anything to add, if Pandey sir would like to give us some last minute direction.
Awaz.
Yeah, Shreya. So your name sums it all. Shreya means, credit. So all credit goes to you. And I really look forward to you taking some more responsibility nationally. And I have always said that you be the vice chairperson. And you have been interacting with all the state units and in the core group, which you hold meetings off and on. But since you have shown the way, and we want its replication in all the states, so I think nobody could be better suited than you in that role. And of course, Ramesh Prasanna ji is always available for guidance, and he's a friend, philosopher, and guide to all of us. And I'm also available all the time. So that's all. And for today's event, a big thank you and congratulations once again.
3 cheers without the glasses.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah,
And
I'm there with you.
going to have 20 people in Jaipur tomorrow because you offered to help. 20 people.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pandey sir, Ramesh sir, or Shreya ma'am. Now here concludes the open session. Now I hand over the mic to the Shipra ji. Shipra ji, please carry on.
Thank you, Furqan sir, for the thought-provoking and stimulating open house discussion. We are indebted and grateful to all of you. But before I thank everyone, the special thanks from DCR to Shri Mudit Tiwari ji for the able handling of not only today's webinar, but all our online activities and digital and social media. Thank you, Mudit ji. You cannot see Mudit ji on screen because he's handling the entire session. But we would not have been able to do these 30 online sessions if it had not been for Mudit. We are thankful to everyone who joined us in this webinar today in our celebration of 1 year of DCR, especially to the international officials and the honored national presidents, all the guests today who participated in this webinar and made it a success. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but that step has to be taken in the right direction. And when it's the art and culture world, the Delphic movement teaches us what that right direction is. So we thank you all from the bottom of our heart, and we look forward to your constant support and motivation. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.